my name is Terry from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. This is video 12, I believe. It could be 13, but I think it's 12 in our Spring Fairies series, and this is a Sweet Pea Papers project. I am using the Victoria Design Kit Spring Fairies because I'm making a series of fairy books using their kits. So I've done winter, this is spring, I'll be doing summer, and then I'll be doing fall as a set for myself. But of course you can use whatever kit that you like. Anything will do, any springtime kit if you're going to do this for the spring. Now we're down to the part where we put the book together, we do the cover, or finish the cover, decorating it and all that, and then we put in our signatures. So what we're going to do, these are our parts, this is our little envelope stack. I went ahead and put the ribbon on. I just measured where I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to be in the center of the book and cut her in half. So I put it down farther, and it still holds the envelope stack shut. So I went down farther, and I did this. I glued it on this side, and then I put a little piece of tape to hold it till the glue dried. Then I just flipped it over and went straight across and made a little mark. Do you see what I'm saying? I just took this piece that stuck out here, and I laid it across the back straight, and then that's how I knew where to put this one instead of trying to eyeball it or, you know, whatever. Okay, and you'll notice I put a big reminder on the back here for ribbon, and I had drawn the line up here originally, and then I realized I wanted it lower. Okay, so that's all I did for that. Then we have our inside cover for the front. We have our two signatures. We have our inside cover for the back, which turned out really well. I put the triple thick on the little fairies and the flowers. And then I put triple thick on this fairy. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. So I put the triple thick on that fairy. Then I added the word spring with the white eyelash trim on it. So that's everything we need to finish up the book. Got the papers for the covers, or the front cover. So now what we're going to do, let's set this to the side too for right now. We're going to do the front cover as far as the paper, because we want to have the spine covered on the outside before we make the holes. I did measure for the holes only because I always mess it up when I do it on camera. So I thought I would go ahead and measure and then tell you what I did. And it's easy if you have a Tim Holtz ruler. Let me just put it that way. So we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to put the front cover on. I used a piece of paper that's this big, that's the portrait, because I want to be able to make it bigger than the 8.5 by 5.5. So, because the cover is 9 by 6, and I didn't want a 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch border all the way around the image. So this way we can make it bigger. Plus I want it to be as close to the edge as possible because of the way we're going to decorate the cover. Now that's not always the case. Usually I like about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And we probably will do 1/8 of an inch actually anyway. Let's do this much. We're not going to use the part with the butterflies. So let's see if I can see where the, right, it's where that point is. We're going to cut it here. And then I'm going to cut it about here. See if I can see that. And I'm using the same paper for the spine as the front. Let me cut that a smidge short. And I could have used this piece right here, but the butterflies would have had to have been on the side and not down the center because the spine is this wide. So I decided not to do that. I decided to just make it green like this. Now remember, we're putting our envelope stack and lace on here too. So we've got this piece. Let's make sure it's the right size. Doesn't look right, does it? Does it look crooked to you guys? It looks crooked to me. Let's try that. And remember, there's text on here, so we want the text to be right side up. Not that we're really going to see it, but it's just a good habit to get into. Okay, that looks a lot better. Okay, so we've got this, and it seems a little bit wide. Okay, and then we're going to ink it. And I'm doing these first, and then I'm going to, actually, if I did this one, then the spine, then this one, I could line all three of them up all the way across, couldn't I? So I'm going to ink this. We're going to use book corners on this. And we're going to put them on before you would think we would put them on because there's going to be lace. And so I don't want to catch the lace in the corners. I want to put the book corners on first. Now, I've never cut the lace to where it comes at an angle and meets. So we're going to have to take a look at that and see if I can figure it out. I'm really in love with this book so far, and I'm not sure this is the one I want to take a chance on because we can I've got some flowers that we can put on the corners that I think will match the theme nicely if we need to kind of cover up with the lace, and also where the ivy meets. I don't know, I'm going to try to put this ivy ribbon around the corners, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So let's glue this on. And you're going to need 4 book corners and 4 eyelets. We got 2 signatures. You need a top and a bottom for each signature. And we've got some of our lace. And our lace is a little see-through. That's why we went ahead and put the green on. Otherwise, we could just put the lace and the envelope stack on if we weren't going to be able to see through any of the corners or anything. For some reason, the Fabri-Tac is smelling strong today. Now let's make sure we got our top and our top. Okay. Now the back cover is not going to be green. Let's see. Why does that look crooked? Because it just does. It looks crooked to me. I don't like crooked. looks like I cut it crooked. Alright, I'm going to print another piece of the paper and wait for this glue to dry so that I can lay the paper on there to measure it. And then I will be right back. Well, if I were to say I wasn't upset, then that would be a lie. There was a problem with the video and it cut off after the first 10 minutes and you didn't see me put the eyelets in. So I'm going to explain what I did to put the eyelets in. All we did was glue the covers on, which is simple enough. We just cut pieces of paper the right size and we glued them on. That's all. There's a piece for the spine and a piece for the front and the back. Now, then we glued the eyelet, or cut the holes for the eyelets. So we turned it over this way. The center of a 2-inch spine is 1 inch. Then half of 1 inch is a 1/2 inch. So we went a 1/2 inch in and a 1/4 inch down, made a mark with our pencil, and that's where we punched our hole. Did the same thing on this side and the same thing at the bottom. Then we flipped it over and dropped the eyelet in there with the good side towards the outside and inserted them using a crocodile. I'm so sorry that the video cut off for that. Then the next thing that we did was we just glued the insides. Now on a side note, this back piece of this pocket was not inked. So I caught it in time and I inked it. So if you didn't ink yours either, double check your papers to make sure that they're all inked before you glue them on. Okay? And the reason I used a portrait shape sized paper or oriented paper because I needed the cover paper to be a little bit bigger than our 8.5 because our cover's 9 and we want it to be a little bit taller than 8.5 because we don't want quite that much all the way around. Okay? And then we've glued these on the inside. So now we're going to glue the envelope stack and the lace on the cover. Now, if we were to look at the envelope stack, you would see that if we put this on first and then put the lace on, then it wouldn't look right. So we're going to put the lace on first, and then we're going to put the envelope stack on. And then if there's enough room, we'll put the ivy on. If there's enough room. There may not be. So we're going to put the lace on and we're going to line it up with the edge of the paper. And I'm going to do the vertical and then I'm going to do the horizontal so that it meets. I've never done one that cuts at a diagonal before. I think if I just cut them, glue one down to here, glue the other one down to here, and then cut them at the diagonal, that would work. But since I am going to be covering most of this with the envelope stack, it's not going to matter, and I really don't want to practice on this book. So we're going to cut the lace to go here. The sirens are going. I wonder what's going on. I live about a mile from the fire department and the EMTs and such, which is great because being disabled, I've actually had to call the EMTs, I believe 4 times since I've lived here. That's an average of every 3 years. It's not bad. We're going to glue it down the center. So what we want to do is we want to start here and then glue in a straight line down. We want more glue than that. Now remember, half of the lace is going to be covered by the envelope stack, and that's going to help hold it down as well. So we're going to glue this piece of lace here. Remember to line it up with the edge of the cover. Now what I'm lining up is this line that goes like this, not the little fringy part. Okay? It looks like I need to trim the top and the bottom just a smidge. When you stretch it out, it ends up with a little bit that you have to trim sometimes. Okay, and this one's not quite straight. Okay. I wonder if we need lace all the way around. It might be pretty with just lace down the sides. Well, we'll do the sides and then we'll lay the envelope stack on there to look, but I think now that I think about it, I think it's going to be better with the lace all the way around. Okay. So I'm going to glue this on here. I'm going to cut it here. And we're going to lay it here. I can already tell it's going to be just a little long. My hands are so shaky. It's crooked. Okay. See? So we'll lay this on here so I can see where the center is going to be. Now it looks a little short. Oh, no, once we stretch it out, it'll be fine. So I want to start here. Oh, and there's text on this. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see it or not, but we want to make sure that the text is right side up on this particular paper that we're using, which is the green paper with the butterfly up the side. I decided to go ahead. I wasn't going to use the butterfly, but it has this lace look on here. So I thought, well, let's go ahead and use that. I was going to use the solid green. We want to line this up with the edge. Put it on the top and then stretch it all the way down. Now let's set our envelope stack on here. Yes, we're going to need it all the way around. Definitely. Okay. I'm not sure we're going to have room for the ivy. I really wanted to put that on the cover. So now we're going to take this lace and we're just going to run it from the inside to the inside. So it's going to be a much smaller piece. We're not going to overlap it. So we're basically going to make a picture frame. We're going to line it up with the bottom and line our scallop up with the bottom. That looks a smidge long. Let me move this over just a little bit. I think we'll be okay because the envelope stack's going to be on there. And we're going to do the same with the other side, which is the top. I'm so sorry about the middle of the video. It was 30 minutes of video that didn't get recorded. I don't know if it was the software or if it was me. It was probably me. I haven't made a mistake like that in a long time. It's a rookie mistake. It clicked like it went off of pause. and it started going. So I'm not sure why it didn't record after the pause where I went to print a piece of paper. Put this on across here. And let's line it up. And let's give that a second to dry. Let's look at our envelope stack. Yeah, we're not going to have enough room to open it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to look right. I think we'll just do the lace. Well, that's just too bad. Next time we'll have to take that into account when we do an envelope stack like that and make it a little bit narrower. It does make making our cover quite a bit easier. So now we're going to glue this onto the cover. Put the cord in. Slide the signatures in. Now you want to glue this really, really well. Especially, well, it's going to be a little rounded and you're really going to have to hold it down flat to get it to lay flat on the cover. You want to make sure you put it on right side up. Because I think we flipped it over to do the lace, so we're going to have to double check. This is going to glue our washi down as well, where she tore. I was so very upset. Didn't know if I was going to be able to fix it or not. Okay. So then we want to layer in the center of the book cover. And then you want to make sure to push down on all the sides, all the corners, because an envelope stack will pull up. So you want to make sure to hold all four corners down when you're gluing it, and you want to hold it and make sure that it's straight. This is going to look nice. I think. I'm really happy with our envelope stack. I did go back and put in all the cards. I added a couple little cards, believe it or not. I think I had already added the wax seal with the little pinkish purple flower. It's not the best looking seal as far as the shape goes, but I really like the little flower in it, and I think the fact that it's handmade and you can tell gives it a little bit of character. I'll go back and double check our corners because it is lace. We're gluing through the lace into the paper, and the lace tends to absorb glue, and everything's thicker on this side. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to put our cords in. And this is easy. I'm using a 1.5 millimeter cord. I found that's a good size cord to hold the signatures in without it being too fat of the cord in the center of the signature, and not being that super thin cord like what you use to make a bracelet, so that the weight of the signature pulls pulls on the elastic. So all we need is, let's do this. We don't need as much as you think because we're going to pull it super tight. So we don't even need that much. You wouldn't believe how tight we're going to pull it. Let's do it a little bit longer. So we're going to pull this in through the top. And then we're going to pull this together. We're going to pull it really tight. We've got eyelets in. You don't have to worry about it tearing our paper. And we're going to tie this in. Seems pretty good. So let's do it again. We're almost done. I'm getting excited. How about you? We're going to trim these. I just want to make sure about how tight they are. I don't want to trim anything until I know I don't have to retie it. That one almost felt like it came loose. So now we're going to put our signatures in. This is going to go in here. Oh, it's going to look so nice. Put your signatures in right side up, which the way I'm holding it is upside down. So we've got our signature one. Let me put the cover on the glue, for goodness sake. No wonder it's getting thick, right? You don't have to put that in the comments. No, please leave comments. Thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. You can have more fun with us. So now we've got signature one. You can start from either side. There's only two. You're going to open it to the center. And you're going to slide the bottom part under the elastic. And over to the center. You want to be careful. You're going to probably catch it on this. So you want to be careful with that. And just slide it in all the way over. Now this is a little tight. Could have made the signature or the book cover a little bit taller actually. For this, it's going to be okay, I think. Oops. Plastic was caught on the charm. Okay. Then we're going to do this one. The reason I can tell that it's too short is because the elastic goes out a little bit and then in around the signature. And it's not really supposed to do that. But I won't tell if you don't tell. Then this one I'm going to go this way, towards the center. Make sure all your charms and things and butterfly wings. Charms and things and butterfly wings. Your wax seals. Make sure your elastic is in the center. And then everything closes, sort of. It's a little tight. There's not too big of a gap here. Close this. Oopsie, my charm got caught on my pocket. I should have waited to put this in. It just kind of got slid. Okay. And that's going to be it. Oh, how nice. Very nice. Didn't need a ribbon to hold it shut or anything. This could be redone. Okay, so that's our book. You can see from the side, and get our charms all in order. The ones that stick out the side. So we've got 4 on the side, and then we've got our hummingbird and a leaf and a peacock and another leaf. And then on the front we have our little fairy charm, our little Tinkerbell charm. No, it's not Tinkerbell. It's just a fairy. Oops, come here, little girl. There we go. And then on the back cover, oh, I have to put lace on the back, I think. I don't know. You don't really see the lace that much on the front. But I may finish it off with some lace around the back. I haven't decided yet. I don't think it's absolutely necessary. The cover isn't overly decorated, so I don't think we need the lace to match. I think it looks fine the way it is. So that's our book. Come in for the next video, which is going to be the last video, and that's going to be our flip through. And so I will see you in just a second, and it'll be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.